one is for Steve, but I'll address it to all of you as well. I've heard you in an interview before that you did like...
It's a lie.
You didn't like, or you're not in favor of using plugins, electronic plugins for profiles and stuff like that, or something to that effect because of the latency that you're experiencing. Has your experience changed, or has your opinion changed, given that, you know, with the changes or the improvements that's been happening in that?
Yeah, because technology has changed. Plugins in the beginning, if we're talking, there's a difference between talking about recording with plugins and performing with modeling. Okay, so performing with modeling amplifiers, I don't usually do that. Well, I don't do it at all. Although the Fractal is a very powerful modulating unit, I just use it for the effects. Because I've yet to find, you know, you can sit with a modeling amp, this is just what I've noticed, and you can sit in your studio or your bedroom, and it can sound really good. You know, it sound thick, and you can go, wow, that really, you know. But the sound always has to stand the test of the battlefield, you know. Because once you get on a stage like this, there's so many moving parts and variables. The kind of floor, is it cement, is it a rug, is it wood? What do they have on the walls here? The guitar tone is competing with everything. Now you've got cymbals, and you've got Jeremy Colson playing them, you know, and other guitars and reflections. And what I've noticed is the modeling, the integrity of the tone of the modeling amplifiers on stage just doesn't seem to stand up. It gets a little anemic, you know. But now, having said that, plugins have come a long way. And in the beginning, they were novelty, basically. You know, they were kind of novelty. And then SansAmp came out with a plugin. And I had, for many years, I used the rack-mountable SansAmp. And I started to use that occasionally, not so much. But then I'm working with this company called Neuro DSP, and we're working on, hopefully, you know, an archetype plugin that is, you know, very attractive, you know, that really works. But then I was talking to Joe when he sent me Elephants of Mars before it came out, and I was just stunned at the tone. You know, so much dimension, so much diversity. And he goes, I did the whole thing, you said this in the press, so, yeah, with a SansAmp plugin. So, and it's so much easier, you know, because the sound, it takes the direct signal, and then it decorates it, you know. And then you can do anything with it. You can even send it back out to an amp. So I thought, well, if this record sounds like that and he's using a plugin, I've got to look at that SansAmp plugin, you know. So there's things about it that I really like, and I don't feel like the integrity of the tone is suffering, but it is different from an amplifier in a sense, you know. So modeling, no. Plugins, I'm checking the waters.
Thank you. You use any plugin stuff?
I use plugins in the studio, and I totally agree with Steve on the modeling thing. I think it's going to get there.
Hopefully, yeah.
It gets better all the time, but there's something about it. It's exactly what Steve says. So I've been filling with some of that stuff at home, and you get this sound, and you work on it. You go, this is a great sound. This is wonderful. You know, it sounds just like my old Marshalls or something. And then you go in to record with it or play live, and it doesn't. Something seems to be two-dimensional at this point. It doesn't quite animately. I mean, it reminded me, it's like if you had a mannequin and you rolled it into a party and said, okay, you know, talk to the people, and it just sits there and looks good, you know. You roll it around and nobody responds, you know. It's just something two-dimensional at this point, but I think it's going to be great, because like the neural thing, and Fender just came out with one, and they're way better than they used to. Fender just came out with them, and they're way better than they used to.
Yeah, much better.
And it's just a matter of time before they get it together.
One of the things I'll mention about the modeling that's important, I think, that I noticed is that the audience will not be able to tell. Just like you can't tell what we're really using on stage. But what you can tell is, are we inspired? Are we playing well? Are we making it a really fun concert? And the problem is between the artist and the modeling amp. That's where it breaks down. The artist is being let down because something's missing, the dimension's missing. But out there, I watched a lot of my friends do concerts and they're using all modeling, and I can't tell the difference. I really can't. If you're 30 rows back, how do you know what they're feeling? If there's a latency or if some note didn't bloom the way they thought it would or something like that. So that's an important distinction. The other thing I would mention, that it's just a funny thing that when all of us artists make pedals and modeling things and amps, it's actually self-defeating, and this is just something to think about in the future. Why would you make something to make everybody sound like you? I do it all the time, and then I sit back and I go, why did I do that? And I was like, I should keep that for myself, right? Anyway, that's just a funny thing. Thought went through my head.